Okay, I believe we are officially back in action and recording for this should be the fourth, I think, new like I guess we're calling the Hitter Calls podcast now. I guess MMA family podcast, full time family podcast. But we got El Chapo on deck. What's up, my boy?
What's up, Rudolph?
Not too much, man. It's been a while since we did one of these. I know me and you, we've been trying to do this for a while. I know we've had
Yeah,
issues, man, the time difference and everything. But shit, we
yeah,
finally we got it done. I know you don't got a lot of time. Um,
yeah.
so one thing I want to talk about, we can just talk about briefly, is UFC 217 and like the lead up afterward. Because I mean, I haven't did one of these since then. I mean, just do you have anything? I know a lot of shit's happened since then. Like, what do you think
Yeah.
about
A lot of shit happens since then.
Oh yeah, Conor McGregor stole the shine. It's crazy he could steal the shine in a Bellator event from the entire
Oh,
Madison Square Garden. But
and that
just off
and
of
that's
that,
and that's not even UFC. He's doing in the boxing. I know Bellator.
boxing, Bellator. Yeah, I
Okay,
seen I seen an article, man. They said like Conor McGregor's now the biggest draw in boxing, UFC, and Bellator. They said it's crazy he was able to put like that was on a tape delay, so he still drew in big numbers, and everybody knew what was gonna happen.
uh,
Everybody still tuned in to watch. That's
put it this
crazy.
way, I'm not being smart or nothing, but he's bigger than all the companies put together. Of
Yeah, well, they
course he is.
their
Every
owners now
football
they got big
football.
money behind them now. They
Yeah.
the UFC and Bellator both were like bought by some companies with some big
Yeah.
money.
It's
I
a
don't think
time.
Connor's bigger than like WME or whoever bought or what Viacom,
Oh no,
but
how bad companies, but they need him for money.
yeah.
They need him to bring in
Oh,
pay-per-views. They need him for. That's
oh,
why they need to give him a piece of the pie, probably.
yeah, yeah. But the
I
only
mean,
problem
he's
with
not
that
going
is,
to
what do you
punch.
think about him having a piece of pie while he's still a fighter? Like, maybe they can guarantee him a piece afterward, but I just think it might be like a conflict of interest if he becomes an owner while he's still fighting, or do you think that'd still be
Well,
fine?
well, I could put it this way, yeah. The man got 100 million nearly against Floyd Mayweather. He's going to come back to the UFC, and like, if they give him a piece of the pie, he could fight for 10, 15 million. And if they don't give him a piece of the pie, he'd want 40 or 50 million to fight.
Yeah.
No, so they're better off giving him a piece of the pie, and he fight for less money.
No, I agree.
Understand?
I agree
Yeah,
that he should get a
yeah,
piece of the pie, or else he's probably not
yeah.
coming back with the way things are right
Oh,
now. I'm just
he
saying,
won't
do you
fight for
think
10.
it'll be a problem? Because it'll be like, he can, if say a fighter pisses him off, since he's an owner, couldn't he like, punish them for that, or wouldn't there be repercussions if you piss off, he's a fighter, so you know what I'm saying? It just seems like a conflict of interest if he gets a piece of the pie right now. Now, I think he'll
Yeah.
have enough money to buy a piece of the pie if he wanted to, but
He,
I just don't know if he
he
can do it
right,
while he's still
but
fighting.
he could buy it out. He could buy out his contract and give them his contract and fuck up and go out in his
Yeah.
own fucking promotion. Just buy out his own contract and give him the money and fuck you, UFC. I go out my own.
One problem
He
with
could
that
buy
is
out his.
the
Huh?
people would really only like if Conor McGregor started the CC, the Conor FC, people would only watch really the cards that he's on. Like if he made a card
Yeah,
where
but
he's on it,
he'd
he
have
would
to
still
fight
have to
on
get
his
a lot
contract.
of talent.
Yeah, yeah. But he bring in
But I
talent
mean,
like.
but he doesn't even need that though. I mean, Conor McGregor doesn't need to fight. You know what I'm saying? Even if
Yeah,
he did say fuck off and buy out his contract, he wouldn't even need to fight. I mean, Conor McGregor's got options outside the UFC, but
oh yeah, yeah. He is talented he's a talented. He get talent from the States. He get talent from the UK. He get talent from Ireland in boxing and MMA.
dude,
So like he's
I,
bound to put cards together if he really wanted to. Like,
I've
and
heard
he's
people.
supporting gaming, so he can bring other sports athletes into doing other things. Like,
Oh yeah,
you
I just
know,
seen like his latest Instagram post. He was promoting his manager like, "Hey, come sign with us.
yeah,
We're the best in the business." Like,
yeah.
he's
And he was
already
supposed to.
man, I would
Yeah,
sign the Conor McGregor promotions right
yeah.
now. I'm telling you, I'm Conor McGregor
Yeah.
podcast. Put me on. I'm telling you, no, Conor McGregor. He could definitely be successful. But I mean, he is a fighter though. I think he's gonna fight again. But I
Oh, he
just
will. He will.
and his coaches, I believe, also just said he's gonna come out in April. That's when they want to see him
That's what
fight.
they're saying. Like,
But
yeah,
I
that's
don't
what
know,
that's
man. I
what
would
they're
rather,
saying anyway.
yeah. Why skip over St. Patty's Day? That seems like a huge opportunity. I mean, it
Like,
doesn't even
we'll
matter the
go back and
opponent.
spend our now till Christmas and after Christmas then January he settled down and he won his 12 weeks training, so they're talking April then like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's funny.
he's on the same bender he's on like for the last couple of weeks. Like,
we were about to open on UFC 217 and
or whatever, like allegedly this or whatever, like he's going to want his bender up in his yachts or whatever he is.
Yeah, out there living like a rock star.
He wants to do, like, yeah.
Yeah, well,
Christmas, like, and then come back then in the new year and go back to training hell.
Yeah. Well, shit, man. I guess that covers the cut. We were supposed to be talking about.
Get off the Conor situation.
I know. Yeah, fuck Conor for a second, man. Yeah. All right. So, with that being said, he's gonna come right back up somehow. But all right, well, let's just move on to the. I know, briefly before when I was trying to get this recording situation, we were talking about the Dustin Poirier Anthony Pettis fight night.
Yeah, what a fight.
Yeah, that fight. Yeah, holy smokes. Yeah, what do you think about Dustin Poirier? You ready to see him fucking fight? Who you want to see him fight the winner of Gaethje Alvarez?
Yeah.
I think so, but I don't think they're gonna give him. If Gaethje wins, I don't think they're gonna give him to Poirier. I don't think so, because he's going to have that undefeated record. I think they might try and, push him to the title. Undefeated, took out Alvarez, took out Johnson in entertaining fashion, that entertaining style. I think they might try and throw Gaethje at, because I would love to see Conor McGregor versus Justin Gaethje, but it would take some... there's still other stuff that has to happen. I just said Conor McGregor again. God damn it. Or even Tony Ferguson. Or even Tony Ferguson or somebody.
All right, hold up a second. If Justin Gaethje don't win, he's not guaranteed a title shot. Conor has the title. Tony's in interim, and there's nothing happening until April. So how the fuck will he get a title shot? He can't. So it don't make sense. Like, the whole division is hold up now again. Like,
yeah, no, Eddie Alvarez, I don't think he'll get one.
But if Eddie Alvarez wins, be him and Dustin.
Yeah. I think if Eddie wins, it'll definitely be him and Dustin for sure. I'm just saying if Gaethje wins, I think there might be other plans for Gaethje because, Gaethje's like.
Who's he gonna fight? Tony Ferguson for the fair belt?
Maybe Gaethje. I would love to see that. Well, Nate Diaz, man. Well, let's talk about fucking Nate Diaz for a second, because if he's not fighting Tyron Woodley, who is he gonna fight? You know what I'm saying? Tony Ferguson, yeah. I mean, like, we've had his coach, Nate Diaz's coaches came out and hinted he was back to camp. He came out and fucking put gloves, showed him putting on his boxing gloves with his coach, talking about 209 and shit. We had all signs, even from Nate Diaz's team, like he was getting ready for a fight. So now if we don't get the Tyron Woodley fight, then we still need to see something. You can't, it's been how long? UFC 202 since we seen Nate Diaz fight, right? That was, he's been out. We've seen Conor McGregor fight in MMA and boxing since we fucking seen Nate Diaz fight. And it's like, now that Nate Diaz is hinting at a fight, it's that time. If he don't fight Tyron Woodley, we need to, the fans need to put the pressure on him. Like, okay, well then it's time for Tony Ferguson. Like, who are you gonna fight?
Well, what are they going to do? Fight for the fact belt?
Well, no, I think if Conor McGregor's not coming back till April, I honestly think the UFC will probably strip him, man.
He'd have to vacate.
Or vacate, yeah, or vacate.
Fight the champion then, like.
Yeah, if Conor McGregor can't, and because his team came out and said that no, that we weren't gonna fight that day. They didn't punish us. Because they said that, the UFC might have to punish him. And even if they don't punish him, he's gonna have to either vacate or get stripped if he doesn't defend. Yeah. I don't think they're gonna have Tony Ferguson defend an interim title.
And I think Conor won't get stripped either, to be honest.
Yeah, because the UFC, it's funny, they can't do too much to him. Conor McGregor, he was like, fuck you guys. Yeah, he's fucking laughing. It's crazy. It's so crazy, man. Holding up division after division, right in front. You showing no remorse. Fuck you all.
And even if he does get stripped of that belt, he still calls himself a two-weight world champion.
I know, it don't matter. Even if he got stripped, I know we can't. It's crazy how much he dominates the conversation. Like we went to talk about the Dustin Poirier but I guess they're lightweights. Okay, so what do you think about the fights coming up tonight?
Oh, Verdum, I'm not really interested in the car fight. I'm not even going to watch it, to be honest. But Verdum, they're now the main event. I think Verdum will win. Like,
Yeah, versus Marcin Tibur. I've seen some people, they're rooting for Tibur in the comments, but yeah, Fabricio's probably the heavy favorite. But this card really got tore apart. We were supposed to have like Joanne Calderwood fighting in the co-main event, and she got replaced by Jessie Jess Clark. So she's going to be fighting Beck Rawlings. Also on the card, though.
Fancy Beck Rawlings there in that one, to be honest.
Yeah, Beck Rawlings. Yeah, I got Beck Rawlings in that one too. The girl she's fighting, they're both from Australia, so there's not really a hometown advantage, or whatever per se. But she's still making her UFC debut, short notice, So this one, yeah. The card also was supposed to have who else got took off this? Oh yeah, well Mark Hunt was supposed to be on, but did you see? Hey, speaking, I just seen this fucking video. Did you see the video of Khabib's team putting that bear in the car and taking him to sparring practice?
No.
I seen someone in the comments say, "Hey, what do you think about Khabib? And training with a bear again?" And I was like, "What?" And then just before this call, I happened to be on like MMA Imports, and there's a fucking video of Khabib's team, and they got a. Do you remember the video of him when he was a kid training with the bear?
Oh, I seen him.
Okay, well, supposedly it's that same bear, but it's grown now. But it's like behaved. They got him in the passenger seat of the car, and they like zoom off with the bear in the car on the way to Khabib's camp, and like they're like, "We're on the way to Khabib's camp." They're talking in Russian and shit. So it's fucking hilarious.
It's like when you go up to Dublin Zoo there, and this fella goes in with the tigers, all cool. The tiger want to attack him or nothing, like. So it's the same thing. The bear knows Kiev, like, so the bear want to attack him.
Yeah, and that's what I was.
It's the same fucking thing, like, you go up to Dublin Zoo there, like, and these fellas going in with tigers and beating them, and the tigers don't attack them. It's the same fucking thing.
Yeah, that shit that's dope.
Like, fighting the bear, so the bear knows him.
And I think it's like Khabib's like actual like pet. Like I think it like lives with Khabib or some shit. It's tight. But man, they just zoom off with the car. I was like, holy smokes, that bear's it's super well trained because that thing could kill either one of these dudes.
Whereas like me going up to Dublin Zoo fighting a tiger and the tiger ate me alive, but yet this fella will come in and play with him.
Yeah. I just thought it was funny. I want to see if he actually still wrestles with the bear. Like that shit's crazy. But that's not going to help him versus Edson Barboza. So that he ain't going to need to be wrestling with the bear. He might need to bring.
We bring Dor in there. We bring up to Dublin Zoo. We give him a bear to wrestle this. He just wrestled off. He's dead.
Yeah. He might need to bring this bear back out when he's training for Tony Ferguson, man. Khabib. Speaking of Khabib, Tony Ferguson, I mean, if Nate Diaz doesn't fight Tyron Woodley and Conor McGregor's out, who does that leave Tony Ferguson to fight? He was ready to fight. Who does Tony Ferguson fight? I mean, if not Conor, if Conor don't come back, what do you think? Tony Ferguson just waits for Conor? I mean, he could fight the winner of Khabib and Edson, maybe. I don't know. With everything going on, okay, with Conor out, and if Nate don't fight Tyron, we could literally have Tony Ferguson versus Nate Diaz December 30th. Like, we could have that fight. When we got Nate Diaz, almost ready to fight Tyron Woodley, and we had Tony Ferguson ready to fight Conor. So why don't they just fight each other? You know what I'm saying? And Tyron Woodley would you watch Colby Covington versus Tyron Woodley, or are you one of the people that are like, fuck Colby Covington, he don't deserve a title shot?
He don't deserve shit after what he done the other day. I like Colby. I fucking like Colby all along. I liked him when he was in Brazil, doing all that shit, but the minute with the Vadum going to the police there in Australia.
Yeah.
No.
Going to the but does that not make you want to see him get his ass beat?
No, I don't give a fuck if he gets his ass beat or win or not. Like at the end of the day, like he's a snitch.
Yeah. Yeah, but snitches get stitches. You want to see Tyron Woodley give him some stitches, So yeah, Tyron, you want to see Tyron Woodley pound his ass?
And Verdum won't be able to come out of Australia until all that court case is done right.
Yeah, no, that's some bullshit getting him tied up with the laws in a whole nother country. Yeah, that's.
Get him all by phone in his hand. He got a boomerang name when he's run off and give him back to them all by phone straight to the head. If any man would do that.
Yeah.
I hit me with the boomerang, the first thing I'd have him over my head and run straight up and whack it off his head. That's instinct.
Yeah.
Going back all the girls, so please, so.
Yeah, no, that's some bullshit. Like,
Foot tall.
and
Yeah.
especially knowing like the travel situations, Verdum is
Yeah.
might
He's
he
on
like I heard he
fire.
like might be stuck in Australia until he goes to court now.
What
Like,
will be like that's a fact.
that's
Like
fucking crazy.
that's 100%, man. You can't
But
get
but
rid
but
of
Verdum
fucking fella.
Verdum just like did a commercial. He did a commercial like a boomerang commercial and shit. He's fucking crazy.
Crazy, man. Crazy, buddy.
Yeah, Who do you see Kobe Covington fight next? I mean, he's got to fight. So who do you want to see whoop his ass? Kamaru Usman? That's what I would like to see. Kamaru versus Kobe,
Yeah, maybe, maybe.
or
Yeah,
Darren
but I
Till. I mean, but
yeah,
I,
who give him give him Darren Till or someone, and we see who he gets on.
yeah. See, Darren
Yeah,
Till,
even
that would be a great
one of
fight.
these fucking strikers. Yeah, fucking tear his head off.
See, in Kobe Covington, he's already talking about, oh, I'm ranked third. I don't want to fight these guys. He's already playing that game. So, man, I don't know.
But he,
Tyron
he's
Woodley
got
might have to put him in his place. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Tyron Woodley might
yeah,
have to do it.
yeah, give him Gunnar Nelson.
Gunnar Nelson, yeah, that'd be a good one.
Yeah,
They're talking about Gunnar Nelson versus Darren Till, um,
yeah.
in Liverpool
Great matchup,
possibly.
Great matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah, great matchup.
So coming up at UFC 218, Cub Swanson, and I thought, he got passed up, so it's for Jose Aldo. I'm taking it. You got Max Holloway in the rematch, or do you think Jose Aldo might have something for him?
Aldo, boy.
You got Aldo?
Yeah, Aldo's
Oh
gonna
shit!
go different style. He's gonna use leg kicks, I reckon, and he's gonna break him now. And he's
But
gonna.
he
Like, Aldo was winning that fight until that second round, man. Aldo was winning all the way, man. I tell you, Aldo's gonna come in. He was more leg kicks, I think. Aldo's clever, like so. We've
I
seen him
agree,
there.
man. But this is a different situation.
Clever.
The last fight was
Aldo's
in
clever.
Brazil, and the last
Aldo's
fight he had a full training camp. This fight's
yeah,
short notice.
listen, no, but Aldo's in training constantly with all these boxing with the
Oh
Garcias
yeah,
and all
yeah, yeah.
them.
No. Aldo was getting ready
Yeah,
for Ricardo Lamas. He was getting ready for Ricardo Lamas. That they were
yeah,
gonna fight
yeah.
at
And
Winnipeg.
the people are sleeping in Aldo. They're the fucking.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about
And
that.
I'm Irish. And I
Yeah.
love Aldo. And I still think Aldo's one of the top featherweights up
No,
there.
no, he
He's one of the
definitely
top
is.
featherweights.
I forgot that he was already in a camp for Lamas
Yeah.
for Winnipeg. I was just thinking Aldo's coming short notice and he's fighting. You know what I'm saying? It was just a bad situation. But no, he was in the camp.
Yeah, I kind of know. And he's training them with all Garcias and all them over in the boxing.
Oh, dude, if Aldo wins, that's gonna be dope. It's gonna set up like the trilogy and shit.
Aldo,
Oh,
Aldo's going to destroy people on him.
oh, and if Aldo wins, dude, he would have the belt back. Maybe go up to 155 like he was talking about. Oh shit, dude, that would be crazy. I can't wait for that. Who do you got out of Francis Ngannou and Alistair?
Their goal is going to knock him out in the first round.
Oh shit, you think so?
Yeah.
This is his first like real test.
So over him is the glass jaw. That's it.
Overeem is like 7-1 in his last 8 fights.
Doesn't matter. It's a glass jaw. He's going to be knocked out.
Yeah, but you don't think he's a very experienced striker? We got to see if Francis Ngannou can deal with his experience. I mean, he might just get through him. Though you're right, man. I don't know. I can't wait for that either. That's gonna be actually that card is better than I'm thinking.
Overeem has a glass jaw. That's enough. The man hits like a powerhouse, eh?
Uh huh.
He's getting knocked up like. I can't like he hits hard, and when he hits Overeem, he's going to fall.
I think I'm gonna do my predictions for that tonight. I think I might have to go with Alistair. I don't know, man. I can't wait. I can't wait. What about the fight that just got announced? Holly Holm versus Chris Cyborg. How do you see that one going? Do you think Cyborg's just gonna run her over? Or do you like Holly Holm?
I don't know. I like both. Like I think Cyborg is an animal, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
but Holly they could hit her with a head kick or something like it. It'll be all over.
Yeah.
All over, like. I know, like. So,
Like
I
Wonder
think
Boy or Anderson Silva. I'm telling you.
Cyborg will run through what I say. That's what I think that is. She probably will like. But Holly then has these head kicks and all this like shit. Like, and she's good at boxing, it.
Yeah.
And Cyborg, the box and the kickboxing. See.
Man, that's gonna be a fucking great fight. That's gonna be a good fight. What about Khabib and Edson?
I think Khabib will beat him if he makes weight.
If he makes weight. I think they said that Khabib is already like, I think they're talking about Khabib. They're saying his weight is already like 20 or 18 pounds under what it usually is or something. Like he's doing really good. So hopefully, yeah. But hey, if he misses weight, I think he'll have to go up to 170 though. That would be fucking insane. I'm sure he's gonna.
I actually have a bet with a fella by $10 that Khabib won't show up, and I said that he will fight, that he will show up and fight, and so.
You got you. I thought the bet was on if he makes weight, but yeah, if he shows up to fight, yay, that's a interesting bet. I ain't mad at you. So you're picking that he will show up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think he, after everything that's happened, but man, if Tony Ferguson doesn't get to fight Nate Diaz or Conor McGregor, I would really still like to see Ferguson versus Khabib, but he'll probably have to fight Edson first. They can't scrap that fight just to throw Tony Ferguson in.
That won't happen anyway.
Yeah.
Might happen over the lifetime, but that won't happen.
Man, so is there anything? I mean, those are really all the fights coming up. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that we haven't covered. Is there anything you want to talk about? Anything else? I'll look at some headlines, something real fast, see if there's anything else interesting that just happened. Breaking news. I know you don't got much time, but we've been going for only 20 minutes. Okay.
I don't know what's happening like.
Okay. Rose Namajunas. I seen Joanna said that she's gonna be fighting in May, but she didn't say that it has to be against Rose. She said whoever's the champion, I'm gonna be getting my belt back. But it's looking like Rose Namajunas might not. She might defend versus one other person first because Rose is probably ready to fight. And if Joanna's not ready until April or May, Rose might defend one time before then. Do you think Rose should have to wait on Joanna, or do you want to see Rose fight somebody else?
No, I think it'd be a rematch, I reckon.
I mean, I want to see the rematch. I think Joanna might. I don't think she's ready to fight until April or May. So, but yeah, I think so too. I think of all the champions that night that lost their belt, Joanna is the one that should get the rematch. I mean, a lot of people talk about, oh no, she got knocked out in the first round, you don't get a rematch. But I think it's different because how long she was the champion. You know what I'm saying? It's not like. Because whenever Anderson Silva, lost to Chris Weidman, he got his rematch, even though he got knocked out. Because he was a dominant champion before. If Demetrius Johnson got knocked out, because whenever T.J. Dillashaw, they talk about he didn't get his rematch or whatever, or Luke Rockhold didn't get the rematch. Luke Rockhold hadn't defended his belt for a long time before he got knocked out. Or T.J. Dillashaw, he might have defended his belt like one time before he lost it to Cruz. So Joanna, the fact that she defended more than 5 times, I think she should get that rematch.
Oh, she get it, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Give it to her too.
Yeah, and she was just starting to catch on too and stuff. So yeah, Rose Namajunas though, I mean, that was a great. What'd you think about Cody Garbrandt and T.J. Dillashaw? Did you have Cody going into that fight or T.J.?
No, I TJ going into that fight.
Oh, okay, yeah, I did too.
TJ, yeah.
Were you a little scared with your prediction at the end of that first round? Like, oh shit!
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It would have been crazy if he won the fight, because it would have just all the stuff that he was talking. It would have just even if it's not true, if he would have knocked him out, it would have just made everything look true. Like it would have just ended T.J. Dillashaw, and it would have turned Cody Garbrandt into a mega star if he would have knocked him out in the first round. Beat Cruz.
The video clip was exactly the same punch.
Yep. Oh, it would have been. That would have been.
You look at it like it was the same clip.
Like, yes, that was crazy. That's crazy. Yeah.
But TJ, it was, I don't know, we've said by the bell, but he came back by and...
Man, pound for pound, TJ's resume, I can't wait for him to fight Demetrius again, because if he beats Demetrius Johnson, people are going to have to talk about TJ as literally one of the best pound for pound fighters out there.
Yeah. I think he beats him, dude, to be honest.
I can't wait for the fight, man. It's really hard for me to pick against Demetrius at 125, but...
I don't know, could he
I just don't know how the weight cut's gonna affect him. You know, has he ever made 125? How is the weight cut going to affect him?
I don't know. He reckons he can get down to it anyway, like with this
Yeah,
nutrition shit.
Dwayne said he could too, pretty easy. He said he
Yeah,
could make it by
yeah,
December 30th if he needed to. But I mean,
yeah.
it sounds all good. I just don't know. I mean, if you do happen to have a bad weight cut, you're gonna be going in there against the best fighter, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
you can't have other things going against you. You need to be on your A game if you're fighting Demetrius Johnson.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
hopefully he makes it as smooth as it sounds and it doesn't affect him. But
yeah.
if he beats Demetrius Johnson, that would be so crazy. He would be a champ at that point. And he would have the chance, honestly, at going up to 145 because you know there's only a 10-pound gap between 135
Yeah,
and
yeah,
140.
yeah.
He would have it's better for him than, say, a Conor McGregor because Conor would have to go up an extra 15 pounds to 170. He would only have to go, up and down 10 pounds. So it would be, he could literally be like a champ at the same time. If everything, he would probably have to defend the 135-pound belt once
Yeah.
and then go up to 145. But TJ could make some moves if he beat DJ. That would be
Yeah,
crazy.
I couldn't see that happening though, to be honest.
Yeah, he'd have to get through like Max
Especially where
Holloway.
that won't happen, like.
Yeah. I'm dreaming a little bit, but hey, man, TJ Dillashaw, it was great to see him fucking come back and get that win.
Yeah. If he fights DJ, I know, like, but I think he beats DJ, like, but I can't see him jumping up then again, like, it's
Yeah.
but we just have to wait and see. They're all looking for two belts now at this stage, like, since Conor and everyone wants to do it, like.
Yeah.
So.
I guess one of the last things we haven't talked about is George St. Pierre. What do you think about George St. Pierre's next fight? Do you want to see him fight Robert Whittaker? You want to see him try and go down and?
There has to be Whittaker.
Hey, okay.
It has to be. It's like Conor and Tony has to be like the same thing.
Yeah. See, but with the way the UFC's going, you listen to the Brendan Schaubs and the Ariel Helwanis and the MMA Beats, and they literally all say, yeah, it's probably not going to be Whittaker. They all say it's probably going to be Tyron Woodley.
Half of them are already podcasts. They're already giving their own side of view, like.
Yeah.
They're already giving their own opinions. Like, at the end of the day, their opinions don't mean shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyone's opinion, like, that's official, like.
I mean, GSP has said it's in his contract.
What?
I said GSP and Dana White have said it's in GSP's contract, but at the same time, I mean, yeah, I think he should have to fight. Well, that's what I want to see. That's what I would want to see. But if it doesn't make the most money, I just don't. It might not happen. I mean, of course, that's what I want to see and what you want to see. But I just don't know if that's what's gonna happen. Especially with Tyron, Tyron Woodley's out here trying to get his name up. He's doing all this weird ass TMZ shows and Nate Diaz weird fights. He's trying to get his name up there. So Tyron Woodley, he's gonna be a star whether people love him or hate him just from all the exposure he gets.
Yeah, from money fight he is, like.
Yeah, I think Tyron Woodley at this point is more of a money fight than Robert Whittaker, and with GSP talking about the stock market and with the UFC needing to make back the money, they might even want to fucking go with Tyron Woodley. He's on fucking TMZ now. Like, I can't get that out of my head. This dude's literally got his own TMZ show called like the Hollywood Beatdown. What the fuck?
Yeah, why? He gets a couple of dollars for doing that.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm sure, and he's getting exposure. Hey, I'm sure there's people that are tuning into that. That's like crossover exposure. That's like the people that don't watch fighting. They're watching Tyron Woodley now.
They even do the way the fans give a fuck. You honestly don't.
No, we probably but he's not going for us with that type of shit. But hey, fuck it. It is what it is. He's got to get his. You can't say he ain't trying, man. He had to. Whatever you just being associated with TMZ is kind of like cringeworthy.
Since he knocked out Robbie Lawler, what did he do? Back up, and got a
yeah.
decision.
Yeah, I mean that's true. I mean, for sure, he's got to get his fighting style is not the. But that's why I was thinking his fight versus Nate Diaz. I don't think it'd go that way. I think or if he fought Robbie Lawler again, it might not. I don't know. Tyron Woodley, he's got one more fucking time for me, man. You can't, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give him one. Like he ain't getting no more passes. Like if you fight somebody, you know, because the last two of those fights were versus Wonder Boy, were the style. You have to fucking be smart, or you're probably gonna get clipped up. With Damian Maia, if you injured your arm, which, I mean, that's a whole weird situation. You know, if you injured your arm, how are you ready to fight Nate Diaz? I guess you know what I'm saying? That's weird. But anyways, even if you didn't injure your arm, that versus Damian Maia, I don't know what Tyron Woodley, if he's fucking scared of his jiu-jitsu or what. Versus Damian Maia, you still got to be careful. It's not the most exciting. Damian Maia himself is not the most exciting fighter to fight against. So if he fights a Robbie Lawler or a fucking Darren Till or you know somebody that we or Jorge Masvidal, which it probably won't be him, or anybody like that, RDA, and he has another fucking boring fight, that's unacceptable, man. That wouldn't even be cool. Like, what the fuck are you really here for? Like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah.
I'm not an RDA fan, like, but I kind of he's making waves in that welterweight division by
Yes,
RDA.
sir.
I fucking telling you, man.
First round, that's crazy. First round submission over Magny was like, damn, I was expecting a fight. What the fuck just happened? Come on. I wanted to see a fight.
Yeah, it's like after that and kind of with his broken door. Or his bruised door, whatever he had, like, but he's after Torment and Fan, the welterweight division, man. He's fucking, he's thereabouts, like.
Yeah, I still and that's one thing that happens when you finish somebody so fast. Like, it doesn't answer questions. You know, like if people have questions about RDA in the welterweight division, like, you know, just because he's moving up 15 pounds, I think he's probably answered those questions. Honestly, I think he'll do fine. But
he's better up there than
who do you have out of him and Robbie?
I think RDA big whoops him.
You think so?
Yeah.
Man, that's gonna be a good fight. That's where Jose Aldo and Ricardo Lamas were supposed to be fighting. Yeah, he probably is, but if he wins this fight,
I think the Cowboy even beat Robbie the last time up.
You think so? I had Robbie.
And I Cowboy just edging it.
Yeah, I was watching it with my cousin, and my cousin had Cowboy going too, so it was a close fight. But yeah, that card's gonna be stacked. That Robbie Lawler RDA card. That's where Jose Aldo and Ricardo Lamas were supposed to be fighting, but now they need a replacement for Ricardo Lamas. But yeah, that's gonna be a good card. What's it?
What about put Lamas and Cub Swanson in there, I suppose?
Yeah. Well, that's if he resigns with the UFC. That'd be good. He would have to fight. He's got to fight Brian Ortega first, and then if he, huh?
Who's go fighting Brian Ortega?
Yeah, he's fighting Brian Ortega 1 week after. Yeah, that's part of the reason that he didn't get the title shot, because it's 1 week after Max Holloway fights. He was already scheduled.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it's the main event too, so they couldn't. If they would have put Cub in, they would have had to like take their main event away from one week later. So, but if Cub beats Brian Ortega, this is the last fight on his contract. He might be going to Bellator, but if he resigns, then he'll probably fight Lamas. But he might not resign, especially now. You know, he came out again like, man, maybe I'm not good enough for the UFC because they, you know, they picked Aldo, so he might have a little bone to pick. He might go to Bellator anyway now. Might be having Cub Swanson Bellator fucking featherweight champ.
I think he was entitled to take the shot in front of Bando, to be honest.
Yeah, but I mean, he was already scheduled to fight. That's the only problem. If he wasn't scheduled to fight, you know, there was more to it. If it was just out of him and Aldo, I think he would have got it. But the problem is, they would have had to like put him in and then put Aldo versus Ortega, and then like plus, you know, Aldo's got somebody pointed out in the comments, Aldo's got 4 fights left on his contract. So if you give him the title shot, that's better than what if Cub Swanson, you know, wins as the champion and doesn't re-sign, then your champion leaves, you know what I'm saying? Unless Cub Swanson re-signed a deal, they couldn't give him the title shot really, if he only had 1 fight left on his contract. So a lot would have had to happen in a short time.
Yeah, very true, brother, yeah.
Yep, so you got anything else you want to talk about?
I don't know. I forgot really, like, is there?
No, I was thinking about doing like a fight companion, man, like on Google Hangouts, like during the fights. But I'm gonna wait until I get a better computer. I realize this
Yeah.
computer's jack shit, but I think I'm gonna start doing those. Like fucking everybody can just like chill during the fights and watch the fights or
Yeah.
whatever. I was gonna do that today, but yeah, my computer's jack shit right now. I'm gonna get a new one soon, hopefully.
Yeah. I might send you now there a donation there soon enough. Like yeah.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. But
I went 100% like because I used to give that fucking MMA cricket donation all the time. Like and then when you came on, I gave a one donation at the start. Alright, like and then I was getting paranoid. Guess it was all I was saying.
yeah.
Fuck that, like, you know, but I know we know you're legit, like, so I might try a few donations every now and again, you know.
Oh yeah, well, much
Not much,
appreciated
like,
if you
but
can. But
something,
yeah,
like,
if not, that's fine. If you do, if you don't,
yeah.
that's awesome. But yeah,
My
much
family's
appreciated
look
if you
after me, all
can.
my
But
bills to pay, you know what I'm saying?
yep,
Small
yep.
donation at time to time, like, you know what I mean?
Fuck yeah, it'd be much
No
appreciated.
problem,
I
thank you, man.
just now, like as long as I've had this channel, I just now today got my AdSense approved. So
Yeah,
now
fair
I'm
play.
finally gonna fucking maybe get a check for a couple $100 from all these
Yeah,
fucking ads.
you're entitled to it with all the fucking work you've done, you know what I mean?
Hey, I don't feel entitled to anything but shit. Hey, it's go.
Ah, but still you put in the effort, like, so.
Yeah, yeah,
I
I hear
mean,
you for sure, for sure. I
oh,
appreciate
it's
it.
not about the money, it's about the principle of it, like.
Yeah,
Yeah, money's only paper, do you know what I mean, kid?
yep, yes,
Yeah,
sir.
but it's the principle of it, like, fuck's
Well, I appreciate everything, man, and it was a good call. So,
yeah.
if there's anything else you want to take us out of here?
Yeah.
Anything you want to say to the full-time family?
It is what it is, motherfuckers.
Yeah, let's go. All right, man. Well, it was good talking to you.
Yeah, same to said, buddy, yeah.
Yes, sir. All right, I'm out.
Yeah, we do.
Da 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 da. It's the motherfucking DOWG.